excited to be launching this new Conspiracy and Coffee Saturday series with you guys. And yeah, so I was thinking about what to do for my first conspiracy episode. And did you know there is a conspiracy theory about the term conspiracy theory? I know, crazy. So we're going to talk about it today. I figured that was a great way to start this conspiracy theory Saturday episodes. So let's dive in. According to Google, conspiracy theory means a belief that some secret but influential organization is responsible for an event or phenomenon. According to Wikipedia, the first time the word or term conspiracy theory was used was by American author Charles Breasted. He used it in a letter to the New York Times. It was an open letter to the editor, and it was published by the New York Times on January 11th, 1863. So this is where Charles supposedly uses the term conspiracy theory when he's referring to claims that British aristocrats were intentionally weakening the United States during the American Civil War in order to advance their own financial interests. Now, I tried to find this letter on the internet, so I couldn't. I would really like to see the context of this letter and how he actually used the term conspiracy theory. So if anyone knows where that is, if you can put the link below, that would be awesome because I would like to see it myself. Now we're gonna fast forward to 1963 when JFK was assassinated, of course, an event that has conspiracy theories swirling around it. And this is where the term conspiracy theory really started to gain its momentum. After the JFK assassination, about a year later, the government released something called the Warren Report, which was the actual conclusion of the JFK assassination. What happened, the report, the findings, all of that. And of course, we know what it concluded. It was that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. He was a lone gunman. He assassinated JFK. And then Jack Ruby acted alone when he killed Oswald 2 days later. And of course, this was controversial. People were like really not buying it. And I feel like the public had a lot of questions, rightfully, because it just seemed like a very perfect bow. I don't know, like everything was just all tied up and all done. Nothing to see here. Everyone be happy that we found the person who did it. It's all done now. Check it off. Just seems a little bit weird. So in 1976, an official CIA document called Concerning Criticism of the Warren Report was released to the public after the New York Times requested it under the Freedom of Information Act. This CIA document was released and showed that the CIA actually had concerns about the considerable amount of people who doubted the official investigation and conclusion of the JFK assassination. I have it linked below if you want to look at it. I found this line to be interesting. The CIA directed its offices around the world in 1967 to employ propaganda assets to counter doubts raised by the critics of the Warren Commission investigation into the assassination of President Kennedy. The propaganda campaign was to be waged in part by passing unclassified information about the assassination to CIA assets who could use them in material to answer and refute attacks or critics. The document said its aim was to provide material for countering and discrediting the circulation of conspiracy theorists so as to inhibit the circulation of such claims in other countries. Just a personal note here, but if conspiracy theorists are really just conspiracy theories and the Warren Report was the truth of what really happened, I feel like the CIA and the government would look at the conspiracy theory as like small potatoes, right? Don't they have other more important things to deal with than launching an entire propaganda campaign against a conspiracy theory? I don't know, that's interesting. And it also feels like the propaganda campaign is still going on. When I Googled conspiracy theory origin, the first article that popped up was an AP article and it said fact check. So I knew it was fact checked, and it said conspiracy theory coined long before JFK assassination. So they're really wanting to prove that on the top of Google. It was just interesting to me. And I'll also say this, friends, we lived through one of the most propagandized events, I think, in all of American history, COVID. And you could see the integrations of propaganda through social media, through businesses, through government, through celebrities, through, propaganda was just everywhere. Wear a mask, wash your hands, get the vax, social distance, 6 feet, et cetera, et cetera. We even had freaking arrows on the ground telling us which way to walk in the grocery store, which is just crazy. That's not science, friends. That's propaganda. And furthermore, I will also say people who were labeled conspiracy theorists back during the COVID time were actually proven to be right about a lot of things. It was like all of a sudden, oops, masks actually don't work. Sorry about that. And oops, sorry, the vaccine actually doesn't stop the spread. And I don't know, conspiracy theories just were wildly coming true at that time. I also have to say there's many examples of conspiracy theories that actually have come true. One is weather modification. Yes, friends, they actually have been trying to cloud seed and control and modify our weather for years. It's actually a thing that's coming out on the news now that's what they've been doing. Also, another conspiracy theory, which we definitely will cover, is Project MK Ultra. It was a psyop that the US government ran between 1950 and 1970 based on Nazi groundwork, basically. And yes, it came true that was actually true. So you can actually research it. It was a real government psyop. It's just wild. Another conspiracy theory, which is just something I'm going to mention right now, is back in 2020, people were saying Biden had cognitive decline. He wasn't mentally fit to be in office. And I'm just going to say, I think that conspiracy theory has proven itself. So friends, my question to you is, what do you think of the conspiracy theory behind the conspiracy theory? Did the CIA develop a propaganda campaign to ensure those questioning the JFK assassination were deemed conspiracy theorists? And is the campaign still going on today to make sure those who are questioning the government or rebelling against propaganda are looked at as a fringe minority or as deranged? I'll let you decide if you need the tinfoil hat or not. Until next time, friends, cheers.